Number 1. The 1967 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme. The 1967 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme represents a great blend of classic muscle car styling and carefully chosen modern upgrades. While it retains much of its original character, this example has been updated in all the right places to make it a far more enjoyable car to drive today. Listed for $26,000 in Louisville, Kentucky, this Cutlass Supreme is finished in red with a black interior and has only about 500 miles on its current setup. It is powered by a 330 cubic inch high-compression V8 equipped with a 4-barrel carburetor, backed by a turbo 350 automatic transmission. One of the standout upgrades is the addition of vintage air heating and air conditioning, giving the car modern climate control without sacrificing its classic appearance. The dashboard has also been updated with Dakota Digital VHX gauges, providing accurate and easy-to-read instrumentation while maintaining a factory-inspired look. The braking system has been significantly improved with C5 Corvette front disc brakes, along with a new master cylinder, brake booster, and brake lines. The rear retains its factory drum brakes, while the original Type O 12-bolt rear axle remains in place. The suspension has been lowered slightly with 1-inch lowering springs, giving the car a more aggressive stance without dramatically changing its drivability. It rides on 18-inch Riddler wheels with spinner center caps, and the tires are about 4 years old with only around 500 miles of use. Mechanically, the seller states that the engine and transmission were removed, detailed, and resealed in 2024. During that work, several important maintenance items were replaced, including a new timing chain, water pump, distributor, and other components. Additional upgrades include an ECP aluminum radiator, a new front lighting and engine wiring harness, a high-output alternator with upgraded wiring, and a smooth firewall, giving the engine compartment a much cleaner appearance. The seller also notes that the car has a clear title, is fully paid off, and is not interested in trades. In my opinion, this Cutlass strikes an excellent balance between originality and usability. The 330 V8 may not be as famous as Oldsmobile's larger 442 engines, but it remains a smooth, dependable power plant with plenty of character. Combined with the TH350 automatic transmission, modern air conditioning, upgraded brakes, and digital gauges, this car is much more practical for regular cruising than a completely stock example. At $26,000, the asking price appears attractive considering the amount of recent mechanical work and the quality of the upgrades. I would still recommend verifying the documentation for the 2024 engine and transmission work, inspecting the body and frame for rust, and checking the operation of the air conditioning and electrical systems. Overall, this 1967 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme looks like a well-rounded classic that is ready to be driven rather than constantly worked on. For someone looking for a stylish 1960s GM muscle car with tasteful modern improvements, this Cutlass deserves serious consideration. It offers classic Oldsmobile styling, dependable V8 performance, upgraded comfort, and improved braking, making it an excellent candidate for weekend cruises, local car shows, or even longer road trips. Number 2. The 1969 Chevrolet Malibu. The 1969 Chevrolet Malibu is a solid example of Chevrolet's popular intermediate muscle-era platform, offering a nice balance between originality and tasteful upgrades. Listed in Averill Park, New York, for $26,000 or best offer, this Malibu features a blue exterior, black interior, automatic transmission, and approximately 99,000 miles. Originally equipped with a 307 cubic inch V8, the car now houses a 400 cubic inch Chevrolet V8 while retaining its original Powerglide automatic transmission. The combination provides noticeably more torque than the factory engine while maintaining much of the car's original character. The Malibu is equipped with power steering and manual drum brakes. According to the seller, the braking system has recently been refreshed with new brakes, wheel cylinders, and ball joints, helping improve both safety and drivability. One of the strongest selling points is the body. The seller states that the car retains all of its original sheet metal, with no patches and no rust, and that it originally came from North Carolina. The underside is also described as very clean, making this especially attractive for buyers who value an original rust-free body. The exterior was repainted approximately 7 years ago in its original factory color, while a new interior kit has been installed to freshen the cabin. Mechanically, The seller says the car runs and drives well and tracks straight down the road. The only issue mentioned is the older quadrajet carburetor, which could benefit from either a rebuild or replacement. In my opinion, this Malibu represents an excellent foundation for someone who wants a dependable classic without paying SS-level prices. The rust-free original body, upgraded 400 V8, fresh interior, and recent suspension and brake work make it an appealing driver, while still leaving room for future improvements. At $26,000, the asking price seems reasonable for a clean, solid 1969 Malibu with a larger engine. Before purchasing, I would verify the quality of the engine swap, inspect the Powerglide transmission, and check the condition of the repaint and undercarriage. If everything matches the seller's description, this could be a very enjoyable classic Chevrolet that is equally suited for weekend cruises, local car shows, or future performance upgrades. Number 3. The 1963 Ford Fairlane. The 1963 Ford Fairlane is a lightweight, early 1960s classic that has become a favorite among enthusiasts looking for a simple, dependable cruiser with plenty of V8 character. This example has been updated with a number of performance components while still retaining the potential to return to a manual transmission. Located in Hammonton, New Jersey, this Fairlane is listed for $18,000. It is described as being in good condition and is presented as a solid driver that's ready to enjoy. Power comes from a Ford 302 cubic inch V8, paired with a rebuilt C6 automatic transmission. The seller has also installed several new performance upgrades, including an MSD ignition system, a new ignition coil, distributor, Holley 670, CFM Street Avenger carburetor, and a new fuel pump. According to the seller, the car is in very nice condition, sounds great, and makes an enjoyable cruiser. One particularly interesting detail is its history. It was originally equipped with a 3-on-the-tree manual transmission. While it now has an automatic, the original clutch pedal and linkage remain in the car, meaning it could be converted back to a manual transmission without starting from scratch. The seller also mentions having a substantial amount of documentation, which is always a valuable bonus when purchasing a classic vehicle. In my opinion, this Fairlane offers an appealing combination of affordability and versatility. The 302 V8 is a reliable and well-supported engine, while the rebuilt C6 transmission and upgraded ignition and fuel systems should make the car dependable for regular cruising. The fact that it can be converted back to a manual transmission is another attractive feature for enthusiasts who enjoy shifting their own gears. At $18,000, this appears to be a reasonably priced classic Ford with tasteful upgrades, solid documentation, and plenty of potential for its next owner. Number 4. The 1968 Pontiac GTO. What if you're looking for a real GTO with documented authenticity, a powerful street-built engine, and a history that stretches back decades? This 1968 Pontiac GTO, listed at $32,000 in Elkridge, Maryland, is being offered as a true PHS-documented GTO, an important detail for collectors because the documentation helps verify the car's authenticity. The car is finished in a classic red exterior over a black interior and has approximately 80,000 miles. Power comes from a blueprint 406 cubic inch V8 built to Ram Air 3 specifications, creating a serious street machine with far more performance than a typical factory cruiser. Backing the engine is an automatic transmission, making the car easier to enjoy on the street while still delivering plenty of big block-era muscle car character. According to the seller, this GTO has quite a story. It belongs to the seller's 74-year-old father, who reportedly drove it as a street machine during the 1980s and campaigned it at local drag strips throughout the 1990s. After those years, the car spent a long period in dry storage before recently being brought back to life. Mechanically, several important maintenance items have already been completed. The seller says the car has received new brake lines and wheel cylinders, along with a complete fluid service that includes fresh engine oil, coolant, transmission fluid, and differential fluid. The fuel system was also serviced by cleaning the fuel lines and installing a new electric fuel pump. Structurally, the seller describes the frame, floors, trunk, and braces as rock solid, with no rust issues reported. Cosmetically, however, the seller is very honest about the condition. The paint is described as an 8-footer, meaning it looks impressive from a distance but shows its age when viewed up close. The interior is complete, but still needs a new headliner. That honesty is refreshing because it gives buyers a realistic picture of what they're considering. So, is it worth the $32,000 asking price? Personally, I think the strongest selling points are the PHS documentation, the Blueprint 406 V8, the solid rust-free structure, and the detailed history provided by the current family ownership. At the same time, buyers should remember that this appears to be a driver-quality muscle car rather than a freshly restored showpiece. A thorough inspection should include verification of the PHS documentation, confirmation of the engine build specifications, evaluation of the paint and bodywork, and a close look at the mechanical systems after its return from long-term storage. If everything checks out, this could be an appealing opportunity to own an authentic 1968 GTO with genuine history, strong performance, and plenty of personality. For someone who values documentation, classic Pontiac styling, and a street machine built to be enjoyed, this 1968 Pontiac GTO in Elkridge, Maryland, deserves a closer look. It isn't pretending to be perfect, and that honesty may be one of its greatest strengths. Number 5. The 1967 Plymouth Satellite. This 1967 Plymouth Satellite, located in Cicero, New York, is offered for $65,000 and represents the kind of no-expense-spared build that Mopar enthusiasts dream about. According to the seller, the car has undergone a complete rotisserie restoration, meaning it was completely disassembled and restored from the ground up. One of the most impressive details is that the underside has been finished to the same standard as the exterior, with everything painted in the body color, a hallmark of a high-quality restoration. Under the hood sits a 1970 spec 426 Hemi equipped with a tri-power induction setup, sending power through a legendary 727 TorqueFlite automatic transmission. Whether you're at a car show or cruising down the highway, that combination is guaranteed to draw attention. The seller describes the Satellite as immaculate, explaining that the owner has a large collection of vehicles and simply doesn't drive this one very often anymore. The sale is not out of necessity, which is reflected in the firm tone of the listing. Serious buyers only, with no lowball offers. Personally, I think the Satellite stands out because it blends the understated styling of a 1967 Plymouth with one of the most iconic engines ever installed in an American muscle car. A professionally restored body combined with a 426 Hemi makes this far more than just a weekend cruiser. It's the type of build that can become the centerpiece of a collection. At $65,000, buyers should still verify the details of the restoration, the specifications of the Hemi engine, and whether the drivetrain components are period-correct or later additions. Documentation and restoration photos would add significant confidence for a purchase at this level. The 1967 Plymouth Satellite may have started life as a stylish intermediate coupe. But after a meticulous rotisserie restoration and the addition of a 426 Hemi, tri-power induction, and a 727 TorqueFlite, it has been transformed into an extraordinary Mopar that combines show-quality presentation with legendary muscle car performance. Number 6. The 1969 Chevrolet Chevelle Malibu. The 1969 Chevrolet Chevelle Malibu remains one of the most recognizable American muscle cars, and this example offers a clean, straightforward combination that focuses on solid driving performance rather than an endless list of modifications. Listed for $35,000 in Sevierville, Tennessee, this Chevelle is finished in blue with a matching blue interior and is equipped with an automatic transmission. Under the hood is a 350 cubic inch Chevrolet V8, paired with a turbo 350 automatic transmission, one of the most dependable and proven drivetrain combinations ever installed in a classic GM muscle car. The seller also notes that the car features an aftermarket suspension, suggesting that it has been upgraded to improve handling, ride quality, or overall driving performance compared to the original factory setup. Although the listing is brief, one of the most important statements is that the car is solid. For anyone shopping for a 1969 Chevelle, structural condition is often more important than horsepower numbers. A solid body and chassis can save thousands of dollars compared to repairing extensive rust or accident damage. The seller also mentions being willing to provide videos of the car, which is always helpful for long-distance buyers. A walk-around video, startup, idle, and driving footage can reveal far more than photos alone, allowing buyers to evaluate engine sound, exhaust note, transmission operation, and overall condition. In my opinion, this Chevelle is appealing because it follows the formula that has made these cars so popular for decades. The 350 V8 and Turbo 350 Automatic are known for reliability, easy maintenance, and strong aftermarket support. Parts are widely available, making future upgrades or repairs relatively simple. The upgraded suspension is another positive, especially for buyers who intend to drive the car regularly instead of simply displaying it. Many enthusiasts appreciate suspension improvements because they make classic muscle cars feel more stable and enjoyable on modern roads. At $35,000, I would recommend asking for detailed photos of the floors, frame, trunk, quarter panels, and engine bay, along with documentation for any suspension upgrades. A video of a cold start and road test would also be valuable before making a purchasing decision. If the car truly is as solid as described, it could represent an excellent foundation for someone who wants a dependable classic that can be enjoyed immediately while leaving room for future customization. Overall, this 1969 Chevrolet Malibu offers timeless styling, a dependable small-block V8, an automatic transmission, upgraded suspension, and what appears to be a solid body. For buyers looking for a classic muscle car that balances drivability with iconic late 1960s Chevrolet styling, this Chevelle is certainly worth a closer look. Number 7. The 1980 Chevrolet Camaro Z28. The 1980 Chevrolet Camaro Z28 represents the final years of the second-generation Camaro and has become an increasingly desirable collector car, especially when preserved in original condition. Listed in Gaffney, South Carolina, for $25,000, this Z28 is finished in a striking yellow exterior with a black interior. It has approximately 57,000 miles, an automatic transmission, and a clear history. What immediately sets this Camaro apart is that the seller describes it as a rare survivor with all original paint. Finding a second-generation Z28 that has avoided a complete repaint is becoming increasingly uncommon, making originality one of this car's strongest selling points. The Camaro still wears its original Z28 decals, which show only minor imperfections consistent with age. It also retains its factory T-top roof, complete with the original storage bags, allowing owners to enjoy open-air cruising while preserving the removable roof panels. Mechanically, the seller notes that the car has received new brake lines and is equipped with a Flowmaster exhaust, giving the V8 a more aggressive sound while keeping the overall appearance close to factory specification. Another unique feature is the car's documented history. According to the seller, this Z28 was featured in a muscle car magazine, and that issue is included with the sale. Documentation like this can add to a vehicle's history and appeal, especially for collectors who appreciate well-documented classics. The original air conditioning system is still with the car, although it is not currently operational. For many buyers, restoring the factory AC would be one of the few remaining projects. In my opinion, this Camaro's greatest strength is its originality. Rather than being heavily modified or restored, it appears to have been carefully preserved over the years. Original paint, factory T-tops, documented magazine coverage, and relatively low mileage make it appealing to enthusiasts who value authenticity. At $25,000, this Z28 could represent a solid value if its survivor status is genuine. A prospective buyer should verify the originality of the paint, inspect the body for hidden rust, confirm the drivetrain details, and evaluate the condition of the T-top seals and air conditioning system. If the car matches the seller's description, this 1980 Chevrolet Camaro Z28 would be an excellent choice for someone looking for a largely original second-generation Camaro that can be enjoyed today while continuing to appreciate as an increasingly uncommon survivor. Number 8. The 1979 Pontiac Trans Am. The 1979 Pontiac Trans Am is one of the most recognizable American performance cars of the late 1970s, made famous by its aggressive styling and unmistakable T-top design. This particular example combines that classic appearance with a much more modern drivetrain. Located in New London, Ohio, this Trans Am is listed for $17,500. It has approximately 140,000 miles and features a black exterior with a tan interior. One of the biggest highlights is the drivetrain swap. Instead of its original engine, the car is powered by an LS1 V8 from a 1998 Pontiac Firebird. According to the seller, the engine has been rebuilt with a Stage 2 camshaft and runs perfectly. Power is delivered through a 700R4 automatic transmission, a popular overdrive transmission that makes highway cruising much more enjoyable than many original 3-speed automatics. The exterior received a repaint about 12 years ago, and the seller says the car has been garage kept since the restoration, helping preserve its condition over the years. Inside, the interior remains original and will need restoration, giving the next owner an opportunity to refresh the cabin while keeping the car true to its heritage. The seller also includes additional parts shown in the listing photos. In my opinion, this Trans Am offers a lot of value for the asking price. The LS1 swap provides significantly better performance, reliability, and aftermarket support than many original late 1970s engines, while the rebuilt engine and 700 R4 transmission make it a practical classic that can be driven regularly. The original interior will require some investment, but at $17,500, this could be an excellent opportunity for someone who wants the iconic look of a 1979 Trans Am with modern V8 performance instead of a completely factory original restoration. Number 9. The 1970 AMC Hornet. What if you want a muscle car that stands apart from the usual Chevelles, Mustangs, and GTOs? Sometimes the rarest cars are the ones that get the most attention at a cruise night. This 1970 AMC Hornet, listed at $31,500 in Marion, Ohio, is exactly that kind of car. The seller describes it as a very rare muscle car, and the production numbers certainly make it interesting. According to the listing, it is one of only 784 Hornets equipped with a 360 V8, one of just 306 fitted with a 4-speed Go package, and reportedly one of only 2 known examples finished in canary yellow with a green interior. Whether you're an AMC enthusiast or simply appreciate unusual American muscle, those numbers make this Hornet worth a closer look. Although the car originally came with a 360, it is now powered by a built AMC 343 V8, producing an estimated 425 horsepower. The engine reportedly has only about 1,500 miles since being rebuilt and includes a long list of performance upgrades, including flat-top pistons, 291C dogleg heads, Harlan Sharp roller rockers, an Edelbrock hydraulic flat-tappet camshaft, a Holley 750 double-pumper carburetor, and a Holley electric fuel system. Backing the engine is a 4-speed manual transmission, equipped with a center-force dual-disc clutch, Lakewood blow-proof bell housing, and a Hurst super shifter, a combination built for serious performance while maintaining the traditional muscle car driving experience. The seller says the car runs and drives great and has been mechanically restored, suggesting much of the important work has already been completed. Inside, the Hornet retains what the seller describes as a complete original interior. The rare factory tachometer still works, the headliner remains in nice condition, and while the front seats have a few tears, the rear seat is reported to be in excellent shape. The car also features new black carpet, with the original style green carpet included if the next owner wishes to return it to a more factory-correct appearance. So, is it worth the $31,500 asking price? Personally, the value here comes from the combination of rarity and performance. Production numbers this low are uncommon, especially when paired with a 4-speed configuration and such an unusual factory color combination. The modified 343 engine may reduce originality for some collectors, but for enthusiasts looking for a fast, enjoyable AMC muscle car, the upgrades could actually increase its appeal. Before purchasing, a serious buyer should verify the production documentation, inspect the quality of the engine build, confirm the originality claims regarding the color combination, and carefully examine the body for rust or previous repairs. If those details check out, this 1970 AMC Hornet in Marion, Ohio, could represent one of the more distinctive muscle cars available. It may not wear the most famous badge of the muscle car era, but that's exactly what makes it special. For someone who enjoys owning a classic that few others have, and one that combines rarity, performance, and genuine AMC heritage, this Hornet could be a very rewarding addition to the garage. Number 10. The 1972 Lincoln Continental Sedan. This 1972 Lincoln Continental Sedan, located in Pottstown, Pennsylvania, is listed for $15,000 and represents one of the last generations of truly massive American luxury sedans. Finished in gold with a black interior, this Continental has 102,772 miles and is described by the seller as being in excellent condition with a clean history. One of the most interesting points in the listing is that the seller calls it a very rare 1972 Continental sedan. While Lincoln built relatively few compared to mainstream full-size sedans, surviving examples in well-preserved condition are becoming increasingly uncommon. The seller says the car runs and drives great, and highlights what may be its biggest selling point: the cleanest interior you'll find. For a luxury car that is more than 50 years old, an exceptionally well-preserved interior can add tremendous appeal. Another nice touch is that the original factory wheels and tires are included and stored in the trunk, allowing a future owner to return the car to a more original appearance if desired. The listing also mentions that the driver's side window switch has been professionally rebuilt, showing that attention has been given to maintaining the car's original power accessories. Personally, I think this Continental is appealing because it represents American luxury at its peak. The long body, spacious cabin, and elegant styling make these cars feel more like rolling living rooms than ordinary sedans. At $15,000, the asking price appears reasonable if the body, frame, chrome, interior, and drivetrain are truly as clean as the seller describes. Buyers should still inspect the suspension, braking system, electrical accessories, and overall maintenance history before purchasing. The 1972 Lincoln Continental sedan wasn't built to be a muscle car. It was built to deliver comfort, presence, and effortless cruising. With its reportedly exceptional interior, strong driving condition, original factory wheels included, and classic early 1970s luxury styling, this could be an excellent choice for someone who appreciates vintage American luxury at its finest. Number 11. The 1980 Chevrolet Corvette. The 1980 Chevrolet Corvette represents the final years of the third generation, or C3, Corvette, a generation famous for its dramatic styling, long hood, sweeping fenders, and unmistakable sports car presence. This example is listed for $17,000 in Sevierville, Tennessee, and is finished in a classic red exterior with a black interior. According to the seller, the car has 50,000 miles, an automatic transmission, and has had only 2 owners. It is also described as having a clear history, being fully paid off, and having no significant damage or known mechanical problems. While the listing is brief, those details alone make this Corvette worth a closer look. The 1980 model year was one of Chevrolet's efforts to improve the C3's drivability through weight reduction and aerodynamic refinements while maintaining the iconic body style that made the Corvette famous throughout the 1970s. With its low-slung profile, removable roof panels, and sporty cockpit, the C3 remains one of the most recognizable American sports cars ever produced. The combination of a red exterior and black interior is one of the most desirable color combinations for a Corvette, giving the car a timeless appearance that still turns heads today. The reported 50,000 miles is another attractive feature, particularly if it can be documented with maintenance records or ownership history. Having only 2 owners may also indicate that the car has received consistent care over the years, although service records and a thorough inspection are always important when purchasing a classic vehicle. At an asking price of $17,000, this Corvette appears to offer an affordable entry into classic Corvette ownership. In my opinion, the biggest appeal of this car is its balance of classic styling and everyday usability. Unlike many high-horsepower muscle cars from the same era, a well-maintained C3 Corvette can be a comfortable cruiser while still delivering the unmistakable feel of an American sports car. Before purchasing, I would recommend inspecting the fiberglass body for stress cracks or previous repairs, checking the frame for corrosion, verifying that all electrical accessories function properly, and confirming the condition of the suspension, brakes, and cooling system. If the mileage and ownership history can be verified, this Corvette could represent very good value at the asking price. Overall, this 1980 Chevrolet Corvette offers classic C3 styling, relatively low reported mileage, desirable colors, and what appears to be well-preserved ownership history. For enthusiasts looking to own an iconic American sports car without spending premium collector car money, this Corvette could be an excellent choice. It combines timeless design, enjoyable cruising manners, and strong collector appeal into a package that remains one of the most recognizable performance cars of its era. Number 12. The 1974 Ford Mustang II. The 1974 Ford Mustang II marked the beginning of the second generation of the Mustang, introducing a smaller, lighter design that reflected the changing automotive landscape of the mid-1970s. While it was very different from the original muscle car Mustangs, the Mustang II has developed a loyal following among collectors who appreciate its unique place in Ford history. This example is listed in Creston, Ohio, with an asking price of $8,900. It is described simply as being in good condition, making it one of the more affordable entry points into classic Mustang ownership. Although the listing provides very few details, the 1974 Mustang II was available with several engine options and offered improved fuel economy compared to the first-generation models. Its compact size and comfortable ride made it a popular choice during the energy-conscious era of the 1970s. At this price point, the car could appeal to buyers looking for a budget-friendly classic that can be driven and enjoyed without the much higher costs associated with 1960s Mustangs. In my opinion, the biggest advantage of this Mustang II is its affordability. As interest in 1970s classics continues to grow, clean and unmodified Mustang IIs are becoming harder to find. They also benefit from lower purchase prices compared to earlier Mustang generations while still carrying the iconic Mustang name. Before purchasing, a buyer should inspect the car carefully for rust in the floor pans, frame rails, shock towers, and lower body panels, as well as verify the engine, transmission, braking system, and suspension. Because the listing contains only limited information, an in-person inspection would be especially important. If this Mustang II is truly a solid, well-maintained example, $8,900 could represent an attractive opportunity to own an increasingly appreciated piece of Ford history without spending a fortune. Number 13. The 1963 Chevrolet Corvair Monza 900. The 1963 Chevrolet Corvair Monza 900 is one of the most distinctive American cars of the 1960s. Unlike most domestic cars of its era, the Corvair features a rear-mounted, air-cooled flat-six engine, giving it a unique driving experience that continues to attract enthusiasts today. Located in Acworth, Georgia, this Corvair is listed for $15,500 or best offer. It has approximately 50,000 miles, features a white exterior with a blue interior, and comes with a clean Georgia title. Power comes from Chevrolet's 2.4-liter, 145 cubic inch, air-cooled flat-six engine, paired with a 4-speed manual transmission. This combination offers a classic, engaging driving experience that is quite different from the typical front-engine American cars of the same period. According to the seller, the car has received several recent upgrades, including a new convertible top, a new fuel system, fresh paint, a new carburetor, and a new alternator. The seller also states that the car runs and drives great, making it ready to be enjoyed immediately. The Monza trim was the premium version of the Corvair lineup, offering a sportier appearance and a more upscale interior than the standard models. Combined with the manual transmission, it delivers the kind of vintage driving experience that has made Corvairs increasingly appreciated by collectors. In my opinion, this Corvair represents a fun and affordable way to enter the classic car hobby. Its unusual rear-engine design, 4-speed manual transmission, and recent mechanical updates make it stand out from many other American classics in this price range. At $15,500, it appears to offer a solid balance of originality, usability, and character. While it's not designed to compete with big block muscle cars, it delivers a unique driving personality and plenty of charm, making it an excellent choice for weekend cruises, local car shows, or anyone looking for something a little different from the ordinary classic Chevrolet. Number 14. The 1965 Dodge Dart. What if you're looking for a project that gives you a blank canvas instead of someone else's finished vision? This 1965 Dodge Dart two-door, listed at just $1,500 in Starkville, Mississippi, is not a running classic. It's a roller that has already begun its transformation into a serious custom build. The seller originally planned to install a 6.2-liter Hellcat V8 backed by an 8-speed automatic transmission, and the project reflects that goal. The hood has already been modified to provide clearance for a Hellcat supercharger, and the car has the beginnings of a full chassis built around that drivetrain concept. However, the project is still in its early stages. The seller explains that no suspension tabs, engine mounts, or chassis mounting tabs have been fabricated yet. That means the next owner has tremendous flexibility, because almost any engine and transmission combination could still be installed. Whether someone wants to continue with the original Hellcat idea, install a Gen 3 Hemi, an LS engine, a traditional Mopar big block, or something completely different, the platform is still open for customization. One encouraging detail is the condition of the body. The seller notes that the doors open and close smoothly, which is often a good sign that the body structure remains straight. The car also comes with a clean Mississippi title in the seller's name, making the paperwork much simpler than many unfinished project cars. The seller admits that life changed before the project could move forward, and now it's time for someone else to finish what was started. So, is it worth the $1,500 asking price? Personally, if the body is as solid as it appears and the title is clean, the price alone makes this an interesting opportunity. However, buyers should understand that this is not a weekend driver, it is a fabrication project. A serious buyer should carefully inspect the body, floors, frame structure, chassis work already completed, and determine exactly how much fabrication remains before the car can become roadworthy. The cost of finishing a project like this can easily exceed the purchase price many times over. But for an experienced builder looking for a lightweight Mopar platform with endless customization potential, this 1965 Dodge Dart in Starkville, Mississippi, could be an excellent starting point. At $1,500, you're not buying a finished muscle car. You're buying the foundation for whatever dream build you want to create, and sometimes that's exactly what makes a project like this so exciting. Number 15. The 1975 Chevrolet Nova. This 1975 Chevrolet Nova, located in Tryon, Georgia, is listed for just $4,500, making it one of the more affordable performance-oriented classics on the market. Finished in blue with a matching blue interior, the car is equipped with an automatic transmission and is listed with 2,500 miles, although that figure likely refers to the current build or engine rather than the total lifetime mileage. The highlight of this Nova is what's under the hood. According to the seller, it features a 400 small block Chevrolet bored .060 over, creating a displacement of approximately 413 cubic inches. That's a substantial increase over the original engine and should provide impressive torque and horsepower when properly tuned. The seller also claims to have invested more than $21,000 into the car, adding that everything is new. While the listing doesn't include a complete build sheet, that statement suggests extensive work has been completed throughout the project. The reason for the sale is personal rather than mechanical. The seller says they are building a new home and need the money, which may explain why the asking price is significantly lower than the reported investment. Personally, I think this Nova stands out because of its potential value. Even if the car isn't perfect cosmetically, a fresh high-performance 413 cubic inch small block and extensive new components could make this a very interesting buy for someone looking for a powerful street machine. That said, buyers should verify exactly what new everything includes and request receipts or documentation for the engine build and other upgrades. It's also worth confirming the condition of the body, floors, suspension, and drivetrain before making a purchase. The 1975 Chevrolet Nova may not have the fame of the earlier Muscle-era Novas, but with a 413 cubic inch small block V8, an automatic transmission, thousands of dollars reportedly invested, and an asking price of only $4,500, this could be one of the biggest bargains on the list, provided the car is as solid mechanically as the seller describes.